All right, it's Wednesday, July 22nd. I got to correct the record. I made a video where I said, "You people love lies." Somewhere along the line, somebody put it in my head that David had married two Gentile women, and I just put it together. It's like Abigail and Allah, I don't remember her name. When he's out in the wilderness, it has to do with the time of when he's gone in a conflict with Nabob. Nabob's wife was Abigail. She comes out and tries to smooth things over because her husband's in a pain. And then he ends up dying of natural causes, and so David marries her. But that wasn't the case. It was his fourth wife. I believe it's pronounced Maacah. I don't know if she's like a princess of like a Syrian king in some alliance that he has. She's the mother of Absalom and Tamar that Amnon raped. But after the ark's been brought into Jerusalem and things are going on, there's a famine at one point. So it's 2 Samuel chapter 21. Then when there was a famine in the days of David 3 years, year after year, and David inquired of the Lord, and the Lord answered for Saul, for his bloody house, because he slew the Gibeonites. The Gibeonites are I believe they were Amorites or something like that dressed up in old clothes and took old moldy bread and said, "Oh, we've traveled from a far distance," and they don't want to get destroyed by the Israelites, and so they lie to them. And when they figure out they lied to him, they're like, "Oh yeah, now you're," but they had made a deal with them anyway, so they had to be like woodcutters and carriers of water or something like that. So they had established in the land with the children of Israel, and they're the Gibeonites, and Saul was killing a bunch of them. Verse 3, wherefore David said unto the Gibeonites, "What shall I do for you?" Because he wants this famine to get over, and God's not going to get it over till he makes good with the Gibeonites. "What shall I do for you? And wherewith shall I make an atonement, that ye may bless the inheritance of the Lord?" And the Gibeonites said unto him, we will have no silver nor gold of Saul, nor of his house, neither for us shalt thou kill any man in Israel. And he said, what we shall say, that will I do for you. And he said, what ye shall say, that will I do for you, is what David told him. And they answered the king, the man that consumed us, and that devised against us that we should be destroyed from remaining in any of the coasts of Israel, let 7 men of his sons be delivered unto us, and we will hang them up unto the Lord in Gibeah of Saul, whom the Lord did choose. And the king said, I will give them. So he gives them 2 sons of Rizpah, whom she bare unto Saul, and then the 2 daughters of Saul. The older was promised to him, and then he married her to somebody else, and then Michal was given to him as a wife. And then his father turned around and gave her to somebody else. So anyway, at some point, she ends up raising her sister's 5 sons. So David's wife, Michal, is raising 5 sons of her sister. And David had to give those 5 sons up to the Gibeonites. So if things weren't bad enough between him and Michal, but that's what it was. I mentioned I was going to go over Isaiah. It's actually chapter 14, which is where it's got the whole prophecy of Satan declaring he's going to raise himself up above the Most High. In this, you're dealing with Mystery Babylon, because the king of Babylon had a dream that goes on all the way to the very end until the stone cut without hand strikes at the feet and the whole thing's over with. Chapter 14 of Isaiah. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. So this is the Christians. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land, and the Lord of servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whom captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from thy hard bondage, wherewith thou wast made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, saying, How hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted, and none hindereth. And the whole earth is at rest, and is quiet. They break forth in singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, the cedars of Lebanon, saying, Since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It is raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, Art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, I will ascend above the heights of the cloud, I will be like the Most High. He is the son of perdition that declared himself to be standing in the temple of the body of Sabbatai Zevi. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. He shall be bound for 1,000 years. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All the kings of the nations, even all them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, and go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land, and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be removed. Prepare the slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord. I will also make it a possession for the bittern and the pools of water. I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts. The Lord of hosts has sworn, saying, Surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass, and as I have purposed shall it stand, that I will break the Assyrian in my land, and upon my mountains tread him underfoot. Then shall his yoke depart from off them, and the burden depart from off their shoulders. This is the purpose that is purposed upon the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out upon all nations. For the Lord of hosts hath purposed, who shall disannul it? And his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? In the year that King Ahaz died was this burden. Rejoice not, thou whole Palestinia. So after 132, the Romans renamed that whole area Palestine and broke it up in sections and different subsets of Palestinia. Rejoice not thou whole Palestinia, because the rod of him that smote thee is broken. For out of the serpent's root shall come forth a cockatrice, and his first fruit shall be a fiery flying serpent. And the firstborn of the poor shall feed, and the needy shall lie down in safety. And I will kill thy root with famine, and he shall slay thy remnant. Hallow gate, cry, O city, thou whole Palestinia art dissolved. For there shall come from the north a smoke, and none shall be alone in his appointed times. What shall one then answer the messengers of the nations? The messenger of the nation, that the Lord hath founded Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it. So this is when Israel is reestablished in 1948. And the fiery flaming serpent, that Rome is the one that had broke him, and then God broke Rome. But rejoice not thou whole Palestine, because the rod of him that smote thee is broken. For out of the serpent's root shall come forth a cockatrice. This is the Muslims that have been trying to kill the Jews ever since God gave them their land back. But why is he saying Lucifer? I'm telling you, because before they came back into their land, 1960, this is the man that Paul prophesied would be the son of perdition, the man possessed by Satan that's trying to establish his kingdom, and he doesn't want the kingdom of the Messiah established. That's what all this is about. Anyway, I just had mentioned that, so I thought I'd go back over it.